You can now purchase CyberPunk, but Sony really doesn't want you to. Stay with me. Cyberpunk 2077 is infamous now. CD Projekt Red's eyes were bigger than their stomach, and we'll get into that. But it is back on the PlayStation Store. However, Sony doesn't want you to purchase it on the base PS4, saying that a better experience is to be had on the PlayStation 4 Pro and, of course, the PlayStation 5. After the hugely successful The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red could seemingly do no wrong in the eyes of gamers. And the same people who were praising them for making one of the biggest and best RPGs in history all of a sudden became the same people saying, how could they think that they can make this big, expansive RPG? They had so many ideas and they were trying to push so many boundaries that the idea that this game could work on last generation hardware was never going to be something that was feasible. They should have stuck with the PC, built the game they wanted to build, took their time, and then eventually ported the game over to the Xbox Series consoles and the PlayStation 5. This is the problem with cross-generational games. This is that issue that I have and many people have had and talked about. A developer and their vision, the canvas that they want to paint on, cannot be constrained from the outset. And when you're trying to push the boundaries of gaming, and of course their eyes were bigger than their stomach, I think that way too many ideas were presented on the table. They sort of had these lofty goals that could never have been met. They lied quite a bit in their trailers and in some of their press releases. But again, cannot allow for vision to be constrained by hardware that could never possibly run this game or give them what they needed to create the vision that they had. And what's even more interesting is that Sony themselves is telling people not to buy the game on the PlayStation 4. Now, the PlayStation 4 is the most sold console last generation. The base PS4, not the PS4 Pro, that's the system that most people have last generation. And they're essentially telling people, don't buy the game there. So it's almost the same thing as not even having the game on the store. And I think that by Sony saying this, they're sort of confirming the idea that cross-generation is just not going to work. If you're trying to push the boundaries, if you're trying to move forward, if you want to make something ambitious, you need the best hardware within a generation that you're in. So PC is always going to be that. And then, of course, it's going to be PS5 or the Xbox Series consoles. It's not going to be a base PS4, and it's certainly not going to be a base Xbox One or an Xbox One S. So this is incredibly interesting. It seems like no matter what CD Projekt Red does, they're not going to be able to recapture the magic and the goodwill that they had after Witcher 3. And I don't think they're certainly going to be able to save this game. Now, I played this game on the PS4 Pro. I finished the game, and while it certainly wasn't what they promised, I had an okay time with it. Some of the characters were very interesting. Some of it was well written. But of course, the gameplay was just very generic and lacking compared to what they had done in the past and what they promised with this game. Are you going to pick up the game now that it's back on the PlayStation Store? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.